Hey everybody, and welcome back. Finally, the January ScrawlrBox came in with all the winter weather. It was crazy. Anyways, got our cute little index for this month. Ooh, so excited, the first ScrawlrBox of the year. Okay, a lot of pens. We have the Sakura Pigma black brush pen. I have one of those, it's pretty good. And then we have a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen 1.5. So this is just basically a white ink pen marker. Pretty thick, it's 1.5. And then we have another Sakura Pigma, but this one's a Micron 01, which means it's 0.25. So that's pretty thin. I usually go bigger, like at least 0.35. I'm not really much of a tiny one, but anyways, so, and then we got 3 Windsor Newton ProMarkers. They're just a nib and a chisel. Yeah. First one was dusty pink, I think, and then the second one was cinnamon, and then the last one we have burnt sienna. So we have a lot of browns this month, this go around. And then finally, Faber-Castell 9000 pencil. So pretty basic 2H. Sketchy sketch pencil. And they came in really sharp. But then we have a cute little like caramel piece of candy. Anyways, on to the featured artist this month is definitely not gonna say this right. Giobi. Really cute illustration. And then we got the paper, finally. I always love how like ScrawlrBox comes with everything you need to get the challenge done. They usually include an eraser, but you know, whatevs. Anyways, it's a Canaletto 160 GSM Liscia, and I tested them out in my sketchbook and sketched some ideas for this month. The theme, well, the challenge is growing up, and then the theme is to convey a memory or emotion. So it was interesting when I was testing the supplies and stuff and trying to think of ideas, thinking of my memories. And so growing up, you were the weird kid. I was the weird kid. You always wish that you could like tell yourself back then, like, hey, it's okay to be the weird kid, and eventually you'll find the other weird kids. And so in this one I was trying to convey that whole, it gets better. I mean, it sucks the most while you're like in it, childhood, yeah, because I never knew what I was doing. So I was just always trying to figure out what normal was and then try to be that. Super fun. But anyways, it wasn't all bad, but it wasn't necessarily mostly good. So it was like, you wish you could go back and tell yourself like, hey, it does get better, because sometimes you get in a really dark place and you're like, this is my life, and it's like, no, it's not. Eventually you're gonna grow up and you're gonna be the adult who gets to make your own decisions and struggle being an adult. And eventually you find all the other weird kids that grew up and have no idea what they were doing. You all struggle together. Because now I have people I can say are my best friends and totally have my back. Because when I was a kid, I was always, as soon as someone was like, we're friends, I'm like, oh my god, you're my best friend, because it's like, well, you're my only friend. But anyway, because you try to keep in touch. Like, I moved a lot and I switched schools, because sometimes I wouldn't like move very far, but I'd be in a different school district. And for kids, like, that's pretty much how you have friends, is the people you see at school. And so I always struggled with that. But yeah, that's what I went with, like, growing up and just the sense of relief that I'm the adult now. But anyways, childhood was childhood. But anyways, on to the supplies. I didn't really use the Sakura brush pen much, but the The Micron was pretty hard to use. I don't know if y'all noticed, I like smudged the eraser. It got wet on one spot. I was like really surprised. I was like, ew, what's happening? And I kind of kneaded it, the one spot into it and everything. So that took care of that. Like, and I kind of struggled inking because I'm used to working with a thicker liner, and I drew kind of small for these markers, but you know, I wasn't really sure how big to draw this anyways, because I wanted to fit it on the paper. But it was a wee bit of a struggle using the really thin Micron. Like, it didn't smudge or anything, so that's really good. And the shadow I did in a few layers because I was like trying to figure out how big I wanted it. But I think it came out pretty good, the liner overall, for not using, because you know there's always that one or two supplies you're like kind of like. And then for, you know, you're kind of working with like these colors, so I kind of just tried make sure nothing was touching one another for the most part, and then fix this or that. And then for the white pen, I didn't really use it much. When I was testing it, my brain saw it like it was a really long nib, and I was like, oh, is it a paint pen? And I used a little too much force when trying to see if I needed to do that thing where you activate it and it does the spring back and then spring back, but enough of it was sticking out that I was able to